Hi there, everybody. This is Amber Johnson with Helping the Good People. Good morning. I don't know about you guys. In Tucson, Arizona, it's like 100 degrees outside. There are so many beautiful birds out here, and I'm getting visitors. I found 2 hawks today, bluebirds, blackbirds, woodpeckers, mockingbirds. I mean, there's just so much life outside, isn't there? I just had to share that with you guys because I've been outside all morning and just enjoying the peace and quiet and the beautiful weather. I mean, that's what it's about, is getting outside and taking walks and holding hands and hugging your family. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm doing this video because, over the last, I'd say, couple months, I've gotten some love and I've gotten some hate. And of course, when you're doing something that you feel in your heart is right and just and fair, right? Then you're always bound to have some haters. So this video is also for you guys that have been out there hating, okay? You got to go within and find some love in there somewhere. One thing I've been working on is my shadow self, which is the inside, the dark side, the hateful side of yourself, and sometimes we don't realize it, but our own trauma and our own fear of abandonment and, being ashamed or cut down or belittled, it really wears on us, and we take it out on others without even knowing about it. I've spent a lifetime in abuse and domestic violence, going all the way back from my childhood with my father, who beat me all the time. I was a runaway from home. I lived on the streets. I hung out with gangs and, never got in trouble. I didn't even do drugs, I just got invited everywhere. And, I spread love and cheer and chased animals, built forts, climbed trees. I was considered a tomboy. I guess in a way I still am, because I still love to jump on beds and roller skate and go hiking and, taking long trips in my car to just go look at beautiful houses even. Go to the mountains, camping. What do you guys love to do? For those of you out there that have been following my story, I appreciate the comments on what I've been doing with my time, whether it's me riding the bus or going to the park or, I'm showing myself basically that I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid of what the world has in store. I'm more afraid of what God has in store. And whether you go into the Bible, whether you believe in God or just a higher power, and there's atheists out there. I mean, I was raised as an atheist in my family. I didn't know church. I didn't go to church. I didn't live in the Bible, I was self-taught. And asking questions was always out of the question. So, just so you guys know, my belief system is in all areas of faith and in loving one another and coming together for the good of mankind. But get back on the topic. I tend to get a little distracted. There's so many beautiful birds and butterflies out here. I've had a long 9 years of fighting my ex in court, trying to get my children protected, and for many years I spent fighting and trying to control outcomes and having expectations on, I want my kids and give me my kids and I've got to keep them safe. Why? Because I lived in the abusive home for 5 years. I protected 5 children. I watched them get abused. And I know this cycle, and it's continued with my children. The only thing is that I was the first one to stand up to my abuse, to the abuser in question. And even though my children are still there, I've come to realize that fighting back is what was wrong. When we stop fighting and we find ourselves and we stand back in our power and find ourselves, then the abuse stops, at least on our end, right? We're no longer a victim of domestic violence. We're now a survivor. And we're healing. And it takes a long time to heal, doesn't it? My children are my life. They're what keeps me going every single day. I live and breathe for them. And along the way, I got lost, In May of 2017, I was ordered to remove my children from school and keep them after another report was filed by myself. And Detective Wilson of Pima County Sheriff's told me, keep them. Hold on to them while we investigate. 2 days later, they showed up at my house. They took my children. They disappeared with them for 2 days. I didn't know where they were. I did exactly what I was told to do. And that, in turn, caused Mommy to snap. I freaked out. I started investigating. I started going deep inside, trying to figure out what was going on, who was involved. And that spurred on my future. That in itself triggered Mommy to go psycho. I mean, mentally. And I'll tell you, it's called Black Sheep Syndrome. I've looked it up. 2 months later, I was with someone that I loved, and for a year he watched me go through the loss of my hands, weight loss, body mass loss, just total sickness, because I was strangled in 2014, and I was going through a lot. And we were having a bad time, and we got to a crossroads, and it turned out that things weren't working out well. I didn't know how sick I was. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I was fighting back to protect my family. And in turn, I lost the love of my life. Something happened, and I wrote a letter to someone. And then all of a sudden, this chain reaction set off. He got lied to by one particular person. Then he reached out to my abuser. And you know what my abuser told him? Is that I was a junkie who lost my kids from a 20-year-old case 20 years ago. That in turn caused him to snap. And in turn, I snapped more. It wasn't until I went to jail for the first time in my life, no criminal charges whatsoever. It was the first time that I had my awakening to my true calling. I had to sit there for 3 months with myself, reevaluate my life mission. And in turn, I found helping the good people. I built that. Sitting in jail. Victims of domestic violence, both male and female, And over the last 3 years, I found music to be enlightening. It healed me. All my friends in the music industry, I love you all. I'm so grateful I met you guys. You saved my life. And I've had the pleasure of doing photos and videos, and I've got about 400 videos just on YouTube, Enjoy them all, because they're all uncut and live action of life. Real life. What I do know is that recently my ex took me back to court on a false allegation that I was failing to protect my children on the bus and stuff, taking off their gloves and masks. And that's why I love to take photos, I had the evidence right there. And I told the judge, I said, Your Honor, I'm not violating any laws. I'm just doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, enjoying my visit. I have no car, so I ride the bus. I go to the park because it's open. And you know what he said? It's all good. You got more time. And now he has to bring the kids to you. And if he's late, you get an extra hour. Enjoy the park. And enjoy your time with your family. So, I'm going to continue to go forward. And I'm going to continue to hug my kids. And I'm going to continue to be a voice against domestic violence. And I'm going to continue to use healing arts as a way to heal myself and others. My family is a part of this, and they want to help. My business is expanded. I'm learning new things. I've learned to let go of the hate and anger towards people, and even to the one that hurt me. There's a time and place when you realize that you have no control. So what are you doing? Sitting there in your misery and in fear of the unknown. Get out of your shell today. Find your calling. Find your mission. It starts inside. Forgiveness of yourself and then others. That's a start, right? Stay tuned for more updates and my goofy posts of me dancing recently, which is first in 10 years that I've actually gotten up and danced. And I put myself out there, stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm holding my phone, so it's shaky a little bit. I apologize. But I love you all. Be well, be blessed. I send prayers your way for all the healing and love that you need today. Stay tuned. This is Amber Johnson with Helping the Good People.